There we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Preenon, Director of Communications for the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors, and welcome again to another virtual breakfast with benefits. And today we have our friend Alex and Josh. I know I saw Josh in there too, from Real Grader. And Alex and Josh have been doing these monthly with different topics for us. And today's topic is hooks, reels, and catchy content. That's the first thing everybody asks, what do I post? So Alex and Josh are going to tell us what to post and how to reel in all of your followers and friends and hopefully some new business prospects. So thank you, Alex.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. So yeah, Mary is right. I do like everybody on video if possible. I see some people saying, oh, not today, mea culpa. But when we show up in our businesses, we can't not show up. And on social media, the biggest thing missing, anybody have a guess? What's the biggest thing missing on social media for realtors? Presence. Yes, that's a good one. It's you. You are missing. I do not see you on social media. I see your listings. I see a whole lot of listings. I see a whole lot of open houses. I see a whole lot of that stuff, but I actually don't see your smiling face. I don't see you sharing about your life, you know, and it doesn't have to be like your lunch or your breakfast or your kids. It's just like, you know, what are you into? Who are you? People want to know. And this is like purely a relationship business. So we do business with people because we have a good relationship with them and we like who they are. And I'm going to share a quick story. I just moved into a home in Miami. I was on the hunt for a home and I went through the process, right? Like looking to work with a realtor. I wanted a realtor to represent me to find my home. And it wasn't I'm not talking about a $500 a month home. Like it would have been a good commission. And I went on the hunt. I requested a lot of realtor.com appointments. I went and saw about 15 different properties, and not once, this really blew me away. Not once did anybody ask me, why am I moving? What's going on with my life? Like, who am I? I was treated like a listing appointment. Did you like the listing? Are you going to put an offer? Meanwhile, every single person that I met could have been my representation. And guess what happened? I slipped through the cracks. I, more than anybody, wanted to work with a realtor because I work with realtors all the time. And I was actually waiting for somebody just to show up and connect with me. And there was one realtor that did connect with me. Unfortunately, they didn't serve the market that I was moving into, but they actually asked me, hey, what's going on? And, you know, how's your life going? Why are you moving in? Turns out, you know, I'm moving in with my girlfriend and now we have 3 daughters together. So we had to upgrade. And if anybody had really connected with me, I would have happily given them the business, because what ended up happening, I gave the listing agent double side, right? But I even made a mistake, big mistake. I didn't, because the market's moving so fast in Miami, I didn't request an inspection. And when I moved in, there were lots of issues with the house. And fortunately, I had a landlord who has integrity and actually replaced the air conditioning, replaced the pool filter, did everything there was to do. So now that I'm moved into a nice house, but that could have gone really sour for me. And, you know, next time I'm going to request an agent. But the point I'm trying to make is there's a whole connection piece that's missing in the industry. We're treating people like transactions, and it's time to start showing up. It's not for everybody, but I'm just putting the message out there, right? Because I am representative of the consumer. So what I want to talk about today is like really connection. So if you do have video, turn on your video so we can connect. I'd love to see your face. I have no idea what Jimmy looks like, or Caroline, or Lindsay. And if I shut off my video, you'd have no idea what I look like except the static image. You definitely wouldn't get as much out of the webinar looking at my static image, because I like to animate. So welcome to the call. My name is Alex Montalenti, co-founder Real Grader. You have Josh Warren on the call wearing an Instacart hat. We just won a pitch battle in Miami for the Association of Realtors for the Instacard, which is a digital business card. We're now the exclusive provider of digital business cards for the Miami Association of Realtors. and hopefully soon for the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors, hint, hint, Mary Prenon. And we will today talk about catchy content, hooks, reels. And notice how, like, I told a story in the beginning of this presentation. You know what is the most important thing when you're talking to people is telling stories. And where else can you tell a story? Social media. And guess what? They're watching your story. Either the one that you're sharing or the one that you're not sharing, which means you're not really sharing a story at all. So there's not much to connect to. And your story doesn't have to be exciting. Your story just has to be about you, your journey. People are watching you as you develop in the real estate business. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. You may want to follow her. Veronica Figueroa is the #1 EXP team in the world. Go friend request her. Follow her story on Facebook. She has developed, she has shared about like her health, the things she's conquered in her health. She has, shared about what's going on in her life. She just got married. And like, I was just at the Inman Real Estate Conference and everybody knew Veronica from her social media. And they were like, oh my God, you've grown so much. Look at all the transformation. Wow, you have 1,200 agents under you now. I mean, she grew in like 3 years to 1,200 agents. A lot of that has to do with her sharing her story on social media. Okay, that stuff is catchy, right? That's the hook. The story is the hook. So let me share my screen and get into what I'm going to share with you today. So let's go over here.
Alex, somebody just wanted to know how to spell her last name, Veronica.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that in the chat. Give me 1 second. Let's go here. Let's go here. Share this, boom, and boom. And then in the chat, I think it's spelled like this, Figueroa. She's actually coming to speak. We're doing an event in Miami called Real Estate Influencers Live. And she's going to be there with the #1 RE/MAX team in the world, #1 EXP team in the world, and a bunch of others. So let's get into this hooks, reels, and catchy content. All right, let me give you a little background on me. I've been in the industry for over 21 years, and I don't have a white hair yet, which is good. But my mom is, she doesn't have a white hair either, actually, which is good too. But she's the one that got me into this business. She's doing real estate in the 70s, 80s, 90s. She came from Romania with absolutely $0 because they had taken away everything during communism, her house, or my grandfather's factory, and they had to start from scratch. And real estate is what saved her life. She started doing rentals in Queens, New York. Then she got into Long Island real estate, residential. Then she finally put a down payment on this property that she rented out both sides of it. And then eventually she lived in it on one half. And then eventually she could raise our family in the whole house, which she's like the monster entrepreneur to me. To come from absolutely zero, I can't say I did that. I came from my mom, who already gave me a lot to go on, but she started from scratch. She even worked in a factory in Queens, New York. So my mom retired off this home. So now she doesn't do real estate anymore. She just has real estate investments. But in 1999, I came home from college. She was struggling with the internet, and I started helping her to put listings in the MLS. I started helping her to, take those manila folders and turn them into a pretty presentation online, and, to print out her MapQuests. Everybody remember MapQuest? I think that was a blast. So yeah, I started helping her with all that. And then I started getting into marketing for her, and I helped her close a really big deal. It was an $80,000 commission check. I remember to this day, it paid the mortgage for years. She was super happy. She didn't think it was possible. And digital marketing did it through email marketing. And so I've been helping realtors ever since. And I've become an international speaker. I've spoken all over. I've trained over 40,000 agents. We Google a lot of agents to check their online presence. We're partnered with a lot of different big brands. I have a podcast you can follow. It's called Top Real Estate Influencers Podcast. I interview all the big industry influencers. I've won a 2CC award, which means I've done over $1 million just through one marketing funnel, which is a huge digital marketing award. And I'm just sharing that to let you know, yeah, I got some experience in this, and I can definitely give you some pointers. My goal of this is to save you time. So I believe all of you are influencers. Like, does anybody not believe they're an influencer? Let me know in the chat. Most people think, I'm not an influencer. I don't have 100,000 followers. I don't have 10,000 followers on Instagram. Yes, you are an influencer. You are in the real estate business. You have a sphere, whether it's 5 people or 5,000 people, and you influence people. And people are waiting for you to show up, right? They're waiting for you to show up online in social media to share your expertise about whatever market you know about, or about whatever designation or properties you know about. And I believe my mission is really to help you all to move from being an agent to being like a real influencer online as well, and showing up in ways you've never shown up before to serve more people. And I want to do it by reducing your stress too, so that you're not like stressed out about all this. So I have a huge team. I have 42 people on my team, including Josh. First thing I like to start my session with is let me know in the chat a win that you had last month. What's a win you had in your business last month? Let me know that in the chat. Let's take a moment to celebrate ourselves, because we work so hard every day. We're like running around like chickens without a head. And we got to take a moment to say, hey, I closed a really big deal last month, or, you know, I cleaned up my contact database, or, you know, what's a big win that you accomplished in the last month? Don't be shy. John says, I got my first client who was a stranger from social media, Instagram. Well, that's perfect. Awesome. Lisa says, my first sale. Congratulations, Lisa. Got my license in another state, says Eddie. Wow, we got some action takers here. I had 3 listing appointments that led to an offer. I am new and did an open house. I gained 3 new clients. I won a 7-bid multiple offer. Wow, that's huge. I got my first listing. Amazing, Rania. Accepted into the Leadership Acceleration Program for Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors, Brandy. Congratulations. Had an accepted offer last month, and I had met a FSBO. This is all great stuff, people. Can you hear like how much leadership and how much accomplishment is in this room right now? And we, you know, some of us are seeing each other's faces, some not, but it's like, let's all acknowledge each other for taking action, for being here at 9:30 in the morning to learn. Like, we're crushing it, right? And this is the kind of stuff that I know sometimes we're shy about sharing on social media, but this is the stuff that your people want to hear. And it's not like, hey, I won a listing. You know, okay, people are gonna be like, all right, congratulations, that's great. But what did it take to win that listing? Can you tell a story about it? Like, this was the first time I won a listing, and this is what I went through to get that listing. There's a story behind every one of these victories that you all shared. If you could just share a little bit of that, we would start to get a little bit of insight to who you are. Like Josh knows, how many times do I share victories and stories with the team and on social media? Like, I'm an open book, and I'm not saying everybody's going to be an open book like me, but I mean, Josh probably knows a lot about me because of that. What would you say, Josh?
All day long. We have a chat, a text chat that we stay all connected to, and we show our wins, and we acknowledge, you know, ourselves every morning for wins that we had the previous day. So take that time every morning, guys, to acknowledge your wins and, you know, pump yourself up. It's your own business, so you want to make sure that you're staying in the game. So acknowledging yourself for your wins is an awesome way to get yourself, you know, rolling in the morning.
Yeah, and I would say tell a little bit of a story about that on social media. Like, what was the challenge? What did it take to win that 7-bid multiple offer? Like, I want to know what was that like? Right? Like, how nerve-wracking was that? That's a little story right there. And that's a hook, everybody. Like, I haven't even got into my slides yet, but like, I just want you to get that you are all sitting on catchy stuff that people want to hear about, but you're keeping it to yourself, right? So you don't even take the time probably to acknowledge yourself for it, because you move on to the next deal and the next deal and the next bid and the next offer and the next contract and the next phone call, the next door knocking. But take some time to acknowledge yourself and share what it took to get there, and people will start to relate with you on social media. And if tell me if I'm wrong, try it. I would say even one post like that per week is way more valuable than 7 posts every single day, right? There's a lot of quantity of garbage on social media, but a good quality post, that's where I can connect with you. That's where people comment, right? That's where people engage with you, get to know you. Yeah, perfect. 7 billion, asking the right questions, asking what is it going to take? Exactly. All right. So challenges is that I know, and I'm just going to first share a couple of challenges I know you're dealing with. You're dealing with, I don't want to share myself on social media. It takes too much time, right? Like they don't need to know. You know, I got divorced 2.5 years ago, and all my investors like, you need to go public, like with some of your posts. And some of my posts, I don't want to go public because, okay, what if my ex or my ex-parents or this are like, oh, wow, you know, look at what's going on for him. So it's like, you know, I get it. I get that sometimes we don't want to share all that stuff, but we got to share it, right? We got to share as much as we can so we can connect with people. So I know you're dealing with that. I invite you to venture out a little bit. I'm doing it this month. I'm going 100% public and I'm just letting it roll, right? And it's going to be interesting. I'll be on the journey with you, right? Like, what's that look like? So here's a couple things I want you to check in on as far as what are the kind of outcomes that you should be thinking about when it comes to your online presence and your social media presence. Maybe you want to set some goals for yourself. Okay. And I put these out there because I'm giving you a clue as to what I do with my clients when I'm coaching them. Is like, these are the kind of goals we're setting. How's your database? Because without a big database, you're not going to reach a lot of people on social media. And then your amazing story and your catchy content is not going to go very far, right? So you should be shooting to have a database. Maybe it's 5,000 for you. Maybe it's 1,000 for you. Maybe it's 500. Maybe it's 200. And I offer to you all that you're sitting on the database already. You just don't know it. It's in your phone and you can export it very easily. There's a program called MC Backup. You can download that app. It'll download everything out of your phone and put it into a spreadsheet. You can go to your Gmail and you can export all the contacts. You can go to your CRM and export all the contacts. And when you put all that together, you're going to have a nice, pretty number. And then when you connect to those people on social media, now you've got an audience. Google, you got to have like 25 reviews at this point. And forget about Zillow. It's about Google reviews right now. Instagram, if you're not at 1,000 followers, and I know a lot of you aren't, that's okay. But that's what you want to be shooting for as a milestone, because that's when you start seeing some traction. Facebook, the goal for everybody on Facebook is 5,000 friends. And I'm going to tell you something contrary to what most people think. Facebook personal is going to get you way more play right now than Facebook business. You need Facebook business to have an Instagram, but you want to be posting on your Facebook personal and connecting with people there. The algorithms have changed and Facebook personal gets way more play. LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn, good time to get into LinkedIn because not a lot of people are playing there yet. And you want to shoot for like 2,500 connections. I know these numbers for some people are like outrageous, then fine, divide it by 10. Whatever is a good goal for you that has you stretch just a little bit this year, what kind of quarterly goal can you set for yourself on these? I got a question from Mary. Should people consider paying for YouTube or Instagram subscribers? There are several firms offering this and the costs are fairly cheap. If it's truly organic, yes, I've done both. I've paid for followers on Instagram just to see what would happen. Didn't like it, right? Because it's not organic. They're not really following me. They drop off pretty quick. It's not the right people. It's not my customer avatar. Does it look good for my numbers? Absolutely. Do some of the biggest influencers in the world buy followers? Absolutely. Don't think they got there organically. That's crazy, right? Like the ones that are in the millions, they did not get there organically. Come on. So you could do both. But if you're doing it for buying it, it's really just for perception, not for organic growth and not for reach. And as far as YouTube, I would say programs like vidIQ would be a good way to grow on YouTube, but not necessarily buying them. So YouTube, try to get 10 videos up. Zillow, 5 reviews minimum. And when I say 10 videos up, I saw some faces. They're like, what? Well, how about a neighborhood video? Maybe not your video. What about a video about you, though? At least an intro video. Realtor.com, try to get at least get 5 reviews. You can copy your reviews from anywhere to Realtor.com. Homes.com, 10 endorsements. So I'm giving you this as a benchmark. This is what I have my clients shoot for this year. Like people that started with me like 6 months ago, by the end of the year, I'm looking to have them all be here. Okay. Divide that by whatever number you want for your own, so you can win this year. Don't set a goal that's like, just because Alex said so. Set a goal that's realistic for yourself. But these are where you want to be setting your social media and your online presence goals. Okay. Any questions on that? These are some other things that you could be doing, okay, to boost your online presence. I want to get into the content, so I might gloss over this real quick, but I threw this in last minute because I wanted to give you a feeling for what some of these top influencers are doing. Like they're adding their listings to their Google business page. They're shooting for 25 reviews. They're maybe running a Google business ad. They've exported their contact database. They're going to LinkedIn and uploading their contact database to connect with people. That's really easy, people. That's like upload a spreadsheet and LinkedIn will find your people. They're using content to post on all their platforms. They're updating their profile picture on Facebook. Who's got a really old profile picture on Facebook? Update that and the algorithm turns on and your Facebook starts to get really active. Posting daily, adding friends by joining groups, using email signatures that are professional, using virtual backgrounds that are professional. I don't want to see your kitchen, no offense, it's fine, but I want to see your branding, right? Like, why aren't we all branding ourselves yet? And this is a default that I have in the background. It's got my digital card, a QR code. You could scan that QR code, get my digital card. How cool would that be? You show up on a presentation with somebody and you got a virtual background. All right, so obviously a lot of realtors struggle with this. They say 48% of realtors say keeping up with technology is the biggest challenge. A lot of realtors need help. Gonna keep giving you some tools. You're participating. I want to save you time. That's the name of the game for me. So you're going to spend an hour with me, but you're going to walk away with some really useful things to take action on. And this is Josh's number. Write this down, take a picture of it. We are very available. Like we're here every month. And Mary knows, like we respond, we take care of people. We're here to answer questions. If you have a question about anything, you can shoot it over to Josh. He'll get back to you on it, or he'll find the answer for you, or he'll find the person you need to speak to, right? Because we know you're struggling with all this stuff, and there's not a lot of reliable people out there. There's a lot of people that burn people on real estate technology. We're not that company. We go to every trade show, like we're out there every year. We have 42 people on our team. We're here to help. So take note of that, ask questions. I'm gonna give you some opportunities. This is what we do. We measure, manage, and maximize digital presence. So we also audit how you're doing on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and we give you a grade out of 100 so you can know how you're doing. And that's it. That you can get at getyourfreegrade.com. That's free. Getyourfreegrade.com. Josh, if you want to put that in the chat. Here's the most common mistakes we see. Inconsistent social media. Let's face it, most of you aren't playing there, right? So we're talking about catchy content in a second, but you're not even playing. Broken links and outdated information, inappropriate or negative content. I was at a conference, this top realtor came up to me. She's like, Google me. I'm solid. First thing I see, 2-star rating on Google. I'm like, that's not solid. I wouldn't list with you, right? Make sure you know what's out there about yourself so that you own your digital presence. You're not surprised by stuff that your customers find, right? We find stuff so quick and then it's scary. Missing profiles or duplicate profiles. Your data's not synchronized, right? All right, so let's get into the content. So far, so good. What's the biggest takeaway? Let me know in the chat. What did you learn? What are you going to implement? Once you declare it, it happens. So let me know what you're going to implement.
And guys, sometimes the hook, guys, is having those followers on your social media. So when you go into that listing appointment, you're going to tell that potential, client, hey, I've got, 1,000 contacts on LinkedIn. A lot of realtors follow me. They're going to see your listing right away. We're going to get this property sold. So use those followers to your digital credibility to get that listing. How many followers I have on Instagram, like let them know how much reach they're going to get with that listing, you know, if they give you the business. So use your digital credibility to your advantage any way you can.
Exactly. Caroline says, I'm going to sync my contacts. That's great. Elizabeth says, I will add presence. I don't post about me. Joseph says, I will get more involved in social media. Brian says, being more present. Marniqua says, setting goals for social media. I love it. Need help on doing Facebook stories, says Mary. Eddie says, branding myself on social media. Lindsay, consistent posting on social media. Suzanne, be more consistent. Brandy says, I'm gonna go for these high numbers and take more time to invest in my social media presence, building consistency. Lisa, I've been posting most of my business pages. I will include personal pages more. I love it. This is great. This is the most active group, Mary, that I've seen right now. This is pretty sweet. So there you go. Consistency. So hooks, reels, and catchy content. What's a hook? These are some of my videos, okay? You can follow me on Instagram, Alex Montalenti. And a hook nowadays is basically the tagline, okay? Why would I click on this video? I want a life with balance. I want to click on the video. I want to invest in myself. I want to click on the video. I want to learn what the biggest mistake is, right? So these titles that go on an Instagram post or an Instagram story or an Instagram reel, or these titles that go on a TikTok video, or these titles that go on your Facebook post at the top of the post, right? Or when you're doing Facebook or Instagram live, like what's the title? That's what's going to pull somebody in. Okay. So you want to think about the wording of that. You might want to ask a question that usually gets people to engage, right? Making a statement sometimes, but you know, you got to have a good story for them to engage on that. But if you find a catchy topic to talk about, that's your hook. Okay. And the story is going to hook them in even more, right? That's like the description that's bringing them in. But I've been testing a lot of hooks. And where do I go test stuff? I tested on Instagram Reels. I tested on TikTok. Why? Because that's the biggest audience I have to test on. And that gives me a lot of insight, okay, as to what's working and what's not working. And now you can do a lot of research on what's working too by going to people's TikTok, especially on your desktop computer. Here's a little trick for you. Going to TikTok on your phone, you're just going to scroll through stuff and you're going to get lost. And you're going to probably, you know, wake up an hour later and go, I can't believe I just wasted an hour. But if you go to TikTok on desktop, it spreads the entire screen and you can see which posts are performing the best for people. And you can look at their hooks and copy it, right? Or borrow it, whatever you want to do, right? But it's like 3 secrets is a really good hook. The biggest mistake is a really good hook. Go ahead and use those. I have no problem with that. The biggest mistake in renting a home, don't do an inspection. That's a big mistake, right? What about this? Do not sell your home without this. If I was looking to sell my home, I would definitely click on that one because I don't even know what you're about to talk about. So I'm intrigued, right? The biggest mistake in selling your home. That's a great hook. The best time to list your home. That's a great hook. You could go controversial. Why do some people dislike realtors? That's a great hook. The most expensive home in the world. I want to see what that is. Right? The most expensive waterfront in Westchester. I want to see what that is. 3 types of realtors to avoid. Of course, it's not you, but you're hooking them in so that you can talk about how you're not that person. Right? So these are hooks. People get what I'm saying with a hook right now? Okay, now we move on to reels. This is my Instagram, and these are some of my reels. And notice how the hook is on the reel. Okay? So you don't just see a picture of me and wonder what that's all about. It's a video, and there's a piece of text over it. Now, I'm obviously been doing this for a while. I don't expect everybody to start filming themselves and having hooks and, you know, knowing all the algorithms and all that. But I want you to get where you need to go is that everything that you post, I'd rather you post with quality and a hook than just vomiting on social media, right? Like, we don't want to vomit a bunch of listings up there. We want to actually articulate who we are and share who we are on social media. Quality over quantity. And you can see which hooks are doing better for me, like certain optimization. That's not clear. And by the way, I don't post this stuff. I hire somebody to do it for me. Okay. You may want to consider that too, if this is not your thing. You're the voice, but doesn't mean you got to do all the work. That's the biggest lesson I learned in business. Josh knows I used to do everything myself. No, not anymore. I'll hire somebody on Fiverr for $10 to do stuff. Doesn't have to be thousands of dollars either. I hire people for $20 on Fiverr to do stuff. My YouTube videos get edited through Fiverr. So you can see which ones do really well. I've invested in myself, 3,400 views. Start owning your value, 3,200 views. The biggest mistake, 2,200 views. Those are ones that are doing better. Catchy content. This is what I'm talking about with TikTok. Open up somebody who's doing really well on TikTok, and you can start to see which videos are performing the best for them. Right? And which ones aren't. Look at this guy. I use the same company as this guy, Majid. He's a buddy of mine. And I know you're right. Right? Like, I know you're right. 1.1 million views. You know how many clients he got out of this one video? Insane. He's done over $250,000 just from his TikTok through speaking engagements that he's been hired for. Can't wait forward. You make me feel. These are simple hooks, right? But they have people click on them. You should study some of this stuff, because this is like an insight into marketing that most people don't get. And it's so simple. Open up like Ryan Serhan's TikTok, right? That guy's crushing. He only started like a year and a half ago on TikTok. I saw when he posted his first video, I'm like, oh, finally he's on TikTok, right? And now he's crushing. He's in like the hundreds of thousands, or who knows, close to 1 million. I don't even know at this point. But if you look at his videos, you can see what was catchy and what got the most views. And you could try to do a video like that. You could even do a duet with another realtor, meaning you take their content and put it next to your content, and now that thing goes viral. So there's a lot of tricks to this stuff. This is my buddy Ben Azadi. How to burn belly fat, the 13 best foods for weight loss. These are hooks. And his content is catchy because it's not just a hook, there's some value inside. So when they watch it, they're hooked in. Then the content is catchy because it's a viral piece of content, like something that people want to know about. When you think of viral content, don't think of like, somebody doing a TikTok dance. Viral content is when you provide something of quality and knowledge that people want to learn about, and then they listen to it and then they share it, right? How nice would it be to get some of your content shared? Like how to negotiate a 7-bid offer. That was some useful information. Maybe not right now, market's changing a little bit, but at the time it was very useful. Make sense so far? How are we doing on time? Let's see, 10:08. Okay, good. So many light bulbs going off right now. Awesome. Yeah, share with me. Let me know. What are you learning right now about the hooks, catchy content, reels? Share away. That's how I know this is either landing or I should go back a little bit. Josh, what's your biggest takeaway right now? Because you haven't even seen this content before.
Just the titling of your hooks is huge. I mean, just that catchiness, because I follow Ben Azadi and these guys on social media, and I went through Ben's keto program, and those hooks definitely hook you in. Like, what are the top 5 snacks to eat when you're on keto? Like, like, oh my gosh, I got to know that. I got to know what are those 5s. I got to go buy them later on today. So it's, those hooks definitely work. And then, converting that after they come in with some, solid video, solid content behind it, even gets you more engagement. So absolutely.
Yeah. And don't get scared, everybody. Like, it doesn't have to be video for this to work. You could just have a picture with a homeowner, and the hook is like 7 mistakes this homeowner made, but we still got the deal done. Right? Or seven challenges that the home seller had to overcome. right? And tell a story about the 7. Yeah, exactly. The hooks are a tiny adjustment that bring much more. Absolutely, because I see a lot of realtors posting. I see a lot of realtors talking about stuff, and I don't see them putting the hook in. And so I have to read through it all to get the hook. But I might not get there because the hook wasn't there to start with, so I skip it. Right? Somebody else said it's way more simple than I think as a millennial. LOL. It is way more simple. And you just want to try it. So let me know, give me anybody in the chat a hook that you're going to try. And by the way, this hook stuff goes all the way to your listing presentation, all right? You should be having hooks and stories in your listing presentations when you're trying to get a listing. The story is what is missing. And I just came from Inman, where the biggest social media real estate influencers were. And we sat, like some of the biggest speakers, we sat around a table and talked about what makes an effective talk, what convinces people, what sells people. And we all said the story. And you'd be surprised that 70% of speakers are not telling a story on stage. And no wonder their stuff doesn't land. So what story are you telling when you go to do a listing presentation? What's the story about you? Why did you get into real estate? Why do you care? Why do you wake up in the morning to do this? There's got to be something behind it. And when you share that with homeowners, they get connected with you. All right, I got some good hooks here already posted. Top 3 tips for buyers, top 3 tips for sellers. Biggest mistake NYC renters make. Yes, I love that one. Yeah. Why you should get a realtor. Absolutely. And I would, Elizabeth, I would challenge you because I've seen the why you should get a realtor. I'd do something like 3 mistakes in picking your realtor, right? Like something a little more edgy, give it like just a little more edge to it. And that makes a difference to stand out in the ocean of posts. Do you suggest a resource for up-to-date content hooks? Not the hooks per se, but the content that is to date. A resource for that. I mean, you're really looking for trends. Like what's trending right now? I would look at the news, like the real estate news. You know, like if recession is you know, a topic, what are 3 things that that prove this is a recession? Or what are 3 things that don't prove this is a recession? Like get into that edgy stuff that's part of the news because people want to know that. Like if you follow Tristan Ahumada, CEO of Lab Coat Agents, largest Facebook group for realtors, all he does right now is post about the recession and the deal with Open Door and Zillow. By the way, Open Door and Zillow have a deal now, a multi-year partnership. It's going to be very interesting, but it's very controversial. All right, so it's like, you may want to touch on some of that stuff so people read about your stuff. You use that stuff to get them to you, right? Like, why do I talk about TikTok a lot? Because it's trending. People want to know, how does it work? Right? All right, cool. So diversified influence is important. And when you're doing these hooks and these reels and these catchy contents, I mean, reels are an Instagram thing, but it's the same thing everywhere. Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube shorts, Facebook stories. It's all a version of a reel. Catchy content, that's the content you're providing of value. That's catchy and preferably shareable. You know, if you read the book 1 Million Followers, it talks about how did Taylor Swift become so big. It was all about fans and shareable content. She created a lot of shareable content, and that reached a lot of people. So looking at all your platforms, Google Business is a place where you can post. Instagram, you can post. Instacart is our digital card product where you can store everything. Facebook is a place to post. YouTube is a place to post. LinkedIn is a place to post. And then your presence lives on Zillow, Homes.com, and Realtor.com, where, by the way, catchy content and hooks are important too, in your bio, right? Like most people's bio is, if you're looking to buy or sell, list with me because I'm the best. right? How can we make that a little more interesting? What's your story? I'm going to put somebody in the hot seat right now. This will be fun. So who wants to be in the hot seat? I'm going to Google you live. I'm going to look at some of your stuff and I'm going to give you some recommendations on what you might want to improve. Let me know in the chat. Just put just say Google me in the chat and I'll know. And I'll let Josh pick somebody. We got 3 takers so far. All right, let's take one of these 3. Josh.
Let's go with Mary Sheely because she was on it.
Is she on video? She on video as well? Let's make sure whoever we pick is on video so that they're playing all out.
Yeah, they got to have access to your audio too.
I see Lisa S. She's on video. She's been there.
Yeah, I'd say let's go Lisa because I'm not finding.
I'm gonna do Lisa and I'm gonna do Brandy. I'll do both. I'll Google both of you. Is that cool? All right, so I'm gonna go to Google here. Boom, boom. So Lisa, what's your last name, Lisa? You can turn on your audio too.
It's pronounced Sievers, but it's spelled Siewers.
Siewers, like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, beautiful. So you're at Howard Hanna. I know Howard Hanna very well. Awesome. Are you in Diane DeFalco or whose office are you in?
New City.
Who's the broker?
JP Andres is the
Okay.
manager.
Got it. All right, so perfect. So first thing I see, let me just do it like this also. No, not yet. So do you have a Google business page?
No, I don't.
Okay, so that's the first thing you want to have. Because if I Google you, I want to see your face. I want to see your 5-star reviews. Just like when we Google a restaurant, we can see pictures of the restaurant. We see the menu. We see the phone number. Right now, you're missing out on, probably some business, I would say. Because I'll show you what it should look like. If I put in Linda Skolnick here, boom, I get her Google business page on the right-hand side.
Okay.
So that's, face, Google reviews. She's even got her listings on here. So that's like a great way to instantly build credibility with your customers. When you walk into a listing presentation, they will have already Googled you most likely. And if they see all this, they'll be like, oh, solid realtor. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing we see is your realtor.com. So here's your realtor.com. So a couple things to improve here is your branding on realtor.com. This is for a lot of people. We often see this blank image here. This blank image is the default image for realtor.com. Why do they choose a nice sunny day with a blue sky? I don't know. They should, but they choose this dreary image instead. Also, your headshot is missing here. We want to get that on there. And then I'm going to go through your bio a little bit. So see, she's got a little bit of a story. After a successful career in advertising, Lisa entered into her second career as a New York licensed real estate person. As a member of the Howard Hanna Realty team in New City, she'll be representing buyers and sellers in the Hudson Valley. Lisa brings with her a passion for building relationships, enthusiasm for client success, and strong negotiating skills. This is a good bio here, right? All of you should be looking at this like, all right, this is a pretty solid bio. Not only she has a little bit about her past, why, what happened, how she got into the business, how she moved around, her designations and certifications. The only thing that I say would be missing in your bio at this point is probably a little more listing of the surrounding areas for search engine optimization. Instead of saying and surrounding areas, I would say and surrounding areas, including ... Right? Because that way it talks to people who are outside a new city, but it also builds your search engine optimization. Now, without proper branding on here, we're not telling too much of a story either, right? And story and branding is also a hook, right? Like we're hooking them in with your branding. You could leverage the Howard Hanna branding. You could put a local area image. You could, have something that pops a little bit. And you do have your areas served here as New City. I would definitely expand this, Lisa. you could have up to 18 or even up to 250 towns in here. And right now you're only being listed on realtor.com for new city. So you're not being listed for any surrounding areas. So you might be missing leads that are that could potentially be coming in for those surrounding areas. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I don't want Lisa to think she's the only one that has this going on. Like 80% of realtors have this going on. Right?
Yeah,
It's
guys,
just that we don't take the time to Google ourselves because we're so busy getting business that we're like, I'm probably okay. But there's a lot of stuff out there that's being done unbeknownst to you.
yeah, we Google a lot of realtors, and realtor.com, they spend about 35% of their marketing budget on Google. So it's always a top search that comes up. So realtor.com gets clicked on a lot, and they're driving a lot of traffic. They're going after Zillow big time. They're doing a lot of marketing themselves. So that's a platform you definitely want to populate it and have branded and just maxed out.
Absolutely. I'm trying to find some of your other stuff here. So here's, I don't know if this is yours. This is yours? Yeah.
Yep.
So this is your LinkedIn. So again, you can have branding on your LinkedIn. If this is your headshot, then this is the headshot we want to have consistently branded across the board. But whatever headshot you choose, everybody, you want that to be everywhere. Okay. And for the banner image, I'm going to show you an example of what a good banner image would look like. Let's do Linda Skolnick on Realtor or Facebook. I'll do Realtor. Here we go. This is what we consider a branded banner image, like logo, maybe personal logo if you have it, your name, your title, your phone number, your slogan, and then a local area image. And this is the kind of imagery that would show up not only on realtor.com, but on facebook.com, which is important because you're posting there, on your Google business page, your LinkedIn, and your YouTube. Okay, there's 8 sites that all of you need to be on, by the way. And that's Google Business, Facebook Business, Facebook Personal as well, Instagram Business. You really only need an Instagram Business. You don't necessarily need both. LinkedIn, YouTube, that's 5. Those are all your social media and Google, and then Realtor, Zillow, and Homes.com. So going back here for a second, that's over here. She is linked up to her company here. She does have her bio here. And then again, add the service areas so that you get listed. There's a couple more settings in LinkedIn that could be done. I'm going to take a look at your Zillow real quick. See if we find that. Let's go directly to Zillow for that. So notice, like usually, Lisa, if I was to Google you, I should see all these sites on page 1.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells me there's some optimization issues. Awesome. So this is your Zillow. So again, headshot. We want to have your headshot here. Have you done deals in the last 12 months or are you new?
I just started in May.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, once you get a deal, then you're going to want to add it in here as a sold property. Okay. You definitely want to get your links on here. A link to your website, your Facebook, your LinkedIn. You could get a Howard Hanna video and put that into Zillow. You could put a Howard Hanna video onto realtor.com. So wherever you don't have stuff, you want to leverage your company. That's why you joined a company, right? You didn't start your own brokerage right away. You wanted to leverage their brand. Mary says, can you briefly explain how to set up a Google business page? Yeah, so it's setting up a Google business page does take time. You can Google Google Business. And like if I do it right now, I'll give you a quick walkthrough on it. I go to Google, I put in Google My Business. And it'll take you here, get listed on Google. And there's a website where you start this process. Now, this does take time and there's certain optimization. We actually do this for our clients because it's a pretty lengthy process. But if you want to do it on your own, there is a way to go through this process. Within a couple weeks, they'll verify via postcard or via text message, and then you'll get access to a Google Business dashboard, and then you'll go in and customize and add settings and do search engine optimization in order for that thing to show up. Always when you're setting it up, it needs to have your name, your company name, and ideally your title. That's really the proper way to set it up. Let's see what else over here.
Yeah, pretty much, guys. However all of your platforms are titled, your Facebook, your Google Business for SEO to show up, you want to just have them titled the right way, or else they're not going to find you. Especially that's why Instagram is a tough one to show up on Google, because everyone has a handle name. So you want to have your Instagram link in all of your platforms so they can get out to your Instagram easily. You don't have to search for it.
Yeah, like that's why I'm having trouble finding a lot of your stuff, but you're new, so I get it. But you have an opportunity here, Lisa, to get everything set up really well from the beginning. And this is what a well set up realtor should look like. Like Linda, she has her website, her Coldwell Banker site, her Facebook, her Instagram, her realtor, her homes.com, her Zillow, her Google Business, all on page 1. So if somebody Googles Linda, they're like, oh, solid realtor. And everywhere they click, consistent branding, same messaging, same stories, same links, everything's cross-linked. And that's really the key to this whole thing. I mean, this is what we do for our clients. So, I mean, if anybody's on this call and they're like, Alex, this is Greek to me, do you like do it? This is exactly what we do. We set all this stuff up and make it all clean and professional so that you can stay focused on your business.
So how much do you charge to do that?
I'm going to give you the price at the end. I got a special deal for this webinar, even more special, Mary, than I've ever done before. I'm adding something to this one. So let me just do Brandy real quick. And Brandy, I'll have you also schedule with Josh, since you volunteered, and he'll do a one-on-one with you after. But let's just bring up 1 or 2 things here. So do you have a Google Business page? I didn't see one yet. It's possible. Am I spelling your name right? You're muted right now.
You hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
All right, cool. So you got some branding going on here. We just want to get the phone number in there and get your company logo in there as well. Let me go back to your Google Business. We need to get that set up because I don't see it yet.
I have one app, but I haven't set up the Google Business aspect.
What town are you in?
New City, New York.
Oh, another new city. Okay, got it.
There's a lot
Boom,
of
boom, boom. Yeah, not getting everything yet. So some optimization to be done here as well.
try. Try that.
Where is it? Oh, okay. Is that your the Department of State name?
Yes, that's my full legal, everybody, full legal disclosure.
And there's some workarounds with stuff like that too, just so everybody knows. There's ways to tweak it. Whoops. There we go. Okay, real estate in depth. No, that's not you. Yeah, not finding too much. Let's go to Realtor directly. There we go. So same deal, your realtor.com is empty right now. So we definitely want to get that optimized. Your Google Business isn't showing up. But I mean, everybody, you're starting to see the idea here, right? Is like, if I was to Google you as a customer, I'm not going to spend as much time as I'm spending right now to look for you, right? Like they're not going to spend as much time. They're gonna move on if they don't see stuff. So let me show you this just so you see what we can help with, because we're short on time here. Just wanted to cover as much content as possible. So we do this thing called the 8-site digital blueprint, where we go through and we set up your Google business the right way. We set up your Facebook business the right way, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your YouTube, your homes.com, your Zillow, your realtor.com. Why do we do it? Because we just do it in one swoop which most realtors don't have time for. Like you all are doing it little by little, and that's why it never always gets complete. But we do it in one shot, and all we need is 90 minutes with you to get the information. So we do a Zoom call with you. We collect all the information. We design all the branded imagery for every single size, and then we go do the work. And within 30 business days, your digital presence is solid. Not only that, but then we train you and coach you on how to post. We give you social media posts to use. We give you everything that you need to keep it going. That's the thing that I'm doing differently now. I used to just set realtors up and then I would train some realtors on how to do it. Now I have a program where I not only set you up, but I coach you through it through group coaching and providing you the tools. So this is the #1 RE/MAX team in the world. He's our client and he's an investor in our company now. He saw the benefits. We optimized not only him, but like tens of agents on his team. Like I think we did 22 agents or something on his team. And now he just invested in our company because he's like, wow, what you guys do is so needed in the industry. He was scored an 82 out of 100 in our scoring system. So if you go to get your free grade and you get your grade, this guy had the highest grade ever because he had a whole marketing team. He spends, I won't even tell you, like, let's just say on portals, he spends $100,000 a month, but he still scored an 82 out of 100. We set up his Google business the right way. We set up his Facebook business the right way. We set up his Instagram the right way. We actually now post on his Instagram for him. We set up his LinkedIn. We set up his YouTube. We set up his homes.com, his Zillow, and his realtor.com. And now he scores 100. So we've been doing this for a while. You can Google him. He said, I was doing a pretty good job. There were still things that need to be fixed. I was surprised how deep into the process he went. And that's really where I want to offer help to all of you. We also give you a digital business card. And if you sign up today, I'm including this for free. I never did this before. For today only, I'm not only going to give you, if you sign up for us to optimize everything, a one-time fee of $897. Okay. A one-time fee of $897. It's not a lot of money here. And we will optimize you within 30 days. I'm going to give you a free digital business card that's worth $99. And I'm going to give you 2 months free coaching, which is $97 a month. No contract, cancel anytime. I'm the kind of guy that if I'm providing value, you stay. You don't see the value, I will tell you to leave. Like if you're not showing up, I'm like, okay, then you're not using it. Why are you paying for it? So we give you this digital business card, which ties everything together. It helps you get more reviews. You need this to get reviews. This thing is going to be your savior. It's like your business card in your pocket, way better than any other digital card on the market. That's why we won the pitch battle. Ryan Serhan, he uses our digital card. He said it changed his life. I have a whole video about that. And basically, I want to help you guys cross the gap. So if anybody's on this call going, listen, I'm struggling with all this. I need help with this. Josh can get you set up. Very simple. One-time fee of $897 includes the whole first year of the digital card. After that, it's only $99 a year for the card if you want it. The coaching program, $97 a month. I'm including that for 2 months. And basically that's it. We do it for you. I know your time is valuable, so I'm going to make it as effective and efficient as possible. There's a lot of value here. I'm just going to kind of gloss through this. People say it's like at least worth $1,200. People say the coaching that we give you, the 90-minute call where we design the branding and get all your information and get all your passwords for you. That's a huge value, $600 value. Put all that together, $1,700 value. The digital card, we set it up for you. We design it for you. We show you how to use it. We have lots of training on this. And that's a $1,900 value. If all it did was get you one client, would it be worth it? I'll ask Lisa or Brandy. I mean, if our company sets all this up for you, we give you a digital card to help you get reviews. We're group coaching you for 2 months on how to do all this. We're giving you 30 days of posts every month. Do you think that would help you get at least one client?
I would hope so.
I mean, we're doing a lot of other stuff that isn't getting results. So yeah, we stand behind what we do. We 100% guarantee that we complete all the profiles for you. And it's an $897 one-time investment. Offline, it's $1,197. I'm giving $300 off, plus I'm throwing in the $100 digital card. plus $200 worth of the coaching. And yeah, and you can Google me if you want to check out reviews. We have over 250 5-star reviews. This is Josh's number. This is the bonus. So this is what you're getting with the influencer program. We're going to help you master all 8 areas of this. We're going to give you the posts for 30 days, professional, nice looking social media posts with the hashtags, with the descriptions, with keywords. We're going to give you 242 pages of ebooks that you can browse at your own. You can share these with your team if you need to. We're going to give you videos that I've done on every single profile, how to leverage Facebook business, how to leverage Instagram business, how to leverage LinkedIn, YouTube, Zillow, you name it. Email templates. All this is included for 2 months. And basically my goal is to help you say goodbye to your fear around all this and really just dive in. This is for action takers. This is not for everybody. It's for people that actually want to grow on all of these platforms. And yeah, $897 one-time Instacart, 2 months influencer is free. If you have questions, ask Josh, hop on a call with him. He'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, I
And
just put it in there. Yeah,
once
we
you
have-
sign up, you schedule a 90-minute call with us. You receive a welcome email with the information that we need from you. We add you to all the groups, all the programs, all the webinars that are included, and we get you rocking and rolling. And you have a direct texting line to me. So that's what I can offer you all, because I mean, Mary knows I'm here every month. I never do this, but I just want to really get people moving on this stuff, because I know that in 3 to 5 years, if you're all not playing this game, the gap is getting bigger and bigger every year between like the realtors that are leading with social media and the ones that are kind of trailing behind. Any questions, thoughts, comments, feel free to hit me up in the chat or by voice. Lisa, Brandy, what are your thoughts on it? What do you see as the opportunity? Is this something you want to do, something you want to think about?
It's definitely something I want to think about. You've given me a lot of insight just with this hour that we've spent here today together. I see that there's a lot of consolidation that I need to do as far as my Google is concerned. And I just want to think about it. It sounds good. And your presentation is impeccable. And I can see the numbers in front of my face and the data is good. I just need to know if for me right now, like I got my license 6 months ago and I already have a LinkedIn profile. I didn't have a realtor profile that's like really set up, but I have a LinkedIn, I have a Facebook business, I have an Instagram business, I have a TikTok for real estate. I have these things, and just telling me to tell my story is ding. And that's very, very helpful. $897 for me at this moment, that's a big investment for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's not for everybody else, depending on how long you've been in the business, but for me, that's a big chunk. So it's definitely something I'd have to consider.
I totally get it.
Yeah, I put, we do have a 2 payment option. You lose the discount a little bit, but you can spread it out over 2 months. So you can at least get registered today. The most important thing is if you're registering today on that link is to make sure that you wait after the payment page. There's a link at the top that'll say congratulations. And you want to schedule that onboarding, that 90-minute call with our coach. That'll pull up their calendar and that'll show you their first available dates. And then you can pick a time that works for you.
Yeah, let me answer some of the questions in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So Joseph says the $897 is for how long? What if you cannot pay the $897 at once? So for how long? It's basically a one-time setup. So the offer for $897 is till the end of the day. Online, it's $1197. If you schedule with Josh today, just to do a follow-up call, we will reserve that price for you. Even if it's not today, you schedule tomorrow because you need time to think about it. We're not, pressuring types. You take your time on it. But if you need to split it up, we have 2 payments of $497. Terry says, how much does it cost after the 2 months? After the 2 months, it's optional. It would be $97 a month for the coaching program. You don't need to do that, but if you do it and you take action on it, you'll love it. If you're not the type that, does coaching programs, then, you just use the 2 months and that's it. But it's $97 a month after that. After all the Caroline says, after all the channels are set up, do you suggest a program, something like Tailwind, that will take the content and post to all your channels, or would it need to be updated separately? I would recommend later.com. That's what we use for our clients. That's the scheduling tool. That's a really good scheduling tool. You can schedule on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Maxine says, what's the website to get your free score? It's getyourfreegrade.com. And Mary says,
I popped the link in again there for, who was it?
yeah, and Mary, that direct link is for sign up, and it'll automatically apply the $8.97 discount. Lena says, can I use your offer in a month? I'm changing the brokerage because I moved recently. If you schedule a call with Josh today, in a month or whenever you need it, as long as you schedule today, we'll reserve it. Okay. Joseph says, it sounds extremely good, but I wonder what plan do you have for someone who cannot pay $8.97 at the moment? The best thing we have right now is the split payment, $4.97 this month, $4.97 next month. And Josh says, how can I set a follow-up with Josh? Josh, can you put your number in the chat?
Yeah.
And also maybe a link to your calendar.
How
Terry
do we schedule a call with Josh?
You can either just text him or put your number in the chat and he'll text you and he'll give you a calendar link. Renee says, I have used your optimization service, which was great. Can I get in on the 2 months free coaching and Instacart now, please? Renee Jones. Listen, Renee, I will hook you up, Renee, because you're an action taker. You took action with us before. So I will get you on the 2 months of free coaching and Instacart.
I work for Jay Phillip, and you already set up our Instacarts.
Yep.
So I don't know if you did training with them already. I'm a teacher too, so I don't get to all the trainings.
I did one training with them. I'd be happy to do another one. We can schedule that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for the J. Phillips agents, we also have a support line that they called in and get a one-on-one training. So if you email support@realgrader.com, I'll put that in the chat too.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh, I would just set up a call with Suzanne though to schedule another webinar. If you're in charge of the training, Suzanne?
No, I'm not. I just am. I'm an agent, but I'd like to do this. But I don't know if we have something set up with our office already that's been paid
Not
for.
for the he hasn't done the optimization for everybody because it's
Okay.
the 897 times 70 agents.
Right.
But I think he did do a promotion with the Instacart, so you probably do have an Instacart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have them all set up, pre-made for you guys.
So yeah, Josh, grab Suzanne's number and set up a call with her to make sure we get something going there.
Yeah.
So this is going to sound really dumb because I clicked on the link to the sign up and somehow I lost the screen and I can't access the chat. And I would like to speak to Josh.
Yeah, Josh, why don't you grab her number and
Yeah, what's your number?
It's 914
Okay.
572
Okay.
4360.
yeah, and anybody who wants a call from Josh, just put your number in the chat and he'll copy the chat and make sure to reach out to all of you.
Yeah. Then I can text you that link as well. You can register right on your phone. It only takes a couple minutes.
Any other questions from anybody? Oh, let me just go. I have this FAQ too. I forgot. What sites do we optimize? We optimize Google Business, Facebook Business, Instagram Business, LinkedIn, YouTube, Realtors, Zillow, Homes.com. Who do you work with? You work directly with a coach. So your whole setup process, your 90-minute call, you're working with one coach. Okay, we have 10 coaches that all been trained by me. They're all solid. And within 30 business days of your call, they will optimize everything and all your branding will be done. All your 8 sites will be done. Then you'll have a wrap-up group coaching call to show you how to use some of this stuff. And then because you sign up today, you're getting 2 months of coaching with me and my coaches to keep things moving and give you all the tools that you need. Again, no contract on that. I just want you to get a taste of what we do and to get some more results. You do have a say in the branding. Every branding is unique. We're not like creating a template here. This isn't a template company. We do everything custom and it's not an automated process either. We literally do the work for you so you don't have to. And Renee, just do me a favor, send an email to Katarina@realgrader.com to let her know about the promotion I just gave you. She's my assistant and she'll make sure that's taken care of. That's I'll put it in I'll tell you, Katarina@realgrader.com. I'm going to send you a message right now. Renee. Mary, what was your biggest takeaway from today?
My biggest takeaway was about, how important it is to put the hook in there, rather than just run the video, because you're right, you need something to really attract people and help them to, decide that they want to listen to what you have to say.
Exactly. Like one tool that I think I could see for you is on the YouTube videos that you do, since you do so many of them with like the breakfast and benefits. If we threw a hook on the video cover image, you'd probably get a lot more views and subscribers.
Okay, good idea. Okay. And I just wanted to thank you again, Alex and Josh, for all your great information. We are going to be recording this, but please be patient because our tech person is on vacation. He will be back on Monday. He converts these onto YouTube, and unfortunately, he hasn't showed anyone else how to do it. Job security, I suppose. So, but we will have it. We will have it for you. And please don't forget to write down September 7th is our very first live breakfast with benefits in over 2 years. It's going to be at HGAR in White Plains. We will be having breakfast from Panera. So everything is on our website right now, hgar.com/events. You can sign up. It'll also be in your weekly connections email. This is really going to be great to kind of reach out and get to network with people again. We are going to be using the large classroom, so you will be spaced out. So you're not going to be like squished in with everybody, because I know there's still some concerns about COVID. If you want to wear a mask, of course, you have that option. We're not going to be checking for vaccinations, but I think most people are. But at this point, we're, fairly safe with that. But just wanted to let you know that that is happening, and hope to see a lot of you there for that. If there's anything else, if anyone missed a question, you can always email me as well, and I can get it to Alex or Josh. It's mary.prenon, PRENON @HGAR.com. So
last thing I'd say on our end is if you have any questions for us, hello@realgrader.com. That gets to all of us. That's hello@realgrader.com. And that's REALGRADER.com. If you want us to call you, put your number in the chat. I'll make sure Josh reaches out to you. We'll copy down the chat. And I thank you all for participating. This was a very active group, which I really enjoy. And I love seeing all the takeaways and take action. Whether
Great.
you do the program or not, just take something from this, because it's all great when we listen to it, but it only really happens when you put it into play.
And Alex and Josh will be back with us again in September. I think, Alex, the date's the 21st. So we'll have more information on that coming up soon with another great topic. So thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you, Alex and Josh. And everyone have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.